Why, hello, and welcome to the PHP. I'm Booker. That would be Perez. How are you?
I'm so thankful that we're here, that people are watching and listening, and that there is a lot to talk about today. We are going to get into Barack Obama's big birthday bash and all the controversy surrounding that. Should I apologize to Demi Lavato?
Yes.
Is Britney Spears off her meds? Her dad says so. Celebrities not showering themselves or their children. Kanye West not being very smart or being a genius. Jennifer Aniston's shocking eating habits and more. But first, if I ever lose touch with anybody, I'm everywhere. Okay, so if you don't see me anymore on any one platform, check another one.
You're omnipresent.
Well, I have this gut feeling that is terrifying me that Facebook is going to ban me soon.
Okay.
I keep getting like random, ridiculous, I violated Facebook policy, like the latest one that actually resulted in my personal account being banned for 30 days. 30 days. I got inciting violence because in 2017, I shared that Kathy Griffin photo where she was holding Donald Trump's head. I appealed that. I said, that's just dumb.
And it's news.
They reviewed it and they said, no, that still goes against Facebook policy after manually reviewing it. So I feel a ban coming, and I just hope and pray that over the next year, I could somehow make as much money as possible so that when I do get banned from every social media platform, I could still survive. So other than that, I'm pretty good. I took the kids to the movies this weekend, and I realized, I am to movies what you are to TV. I just love going to the movies in the theaters.
Yeah, you do. And I didn't realize till after last week's show, you were talking about a movie last week. And I was like, well, that was on whatever, HBO Max or whatever. And then this week's movie, I was like, well, that's also on whatever streaming as well. I said, he really loves to go out to the theater. I guess it's just a thing for you and your family.
Yeah, it's just not the same. The huge screen and the sound is so much better. And then it's also an outing, I work so hard, so it's nice to take the kids out of the house and take them to the theater, and maybe I'll get them a treat afterwards. Although this movie was a disaster because I took them to see the Suicide Squad movie, and
I don't see them liking that.
My son was the one who told. I did not know. I just knew, the movie's coming out. My son is like, oh, that's rated R. And I'm like, oh, it is? Okay. Well, I took him to see Mortal Kombat, and that was gory, but it was fine. This was next level. My 6-year-old daughter, I only took her and her older brother. She was like crying in the movie theater.
Not good.
But the movie was amazing. So if you haven't seen it yet,
it was a good movie.
Oh my God. I think the best film I've seen all year. I didn't even see the first Suicide Squad movie. This one has a new director and writer, James Gunn, and it was just so inventive and clever, and it felt like there were no rules. It was awesome. So
I'll stream it. Cool. Yeah. All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Check it out. How are you? How you been? You were on a little mini vacation.
Boy, what a weekend I had. I went to Oakland to check off another ballpark. I've talked about this before, how I want to see every baseball field. And unfortunately, Oakland was still on the list. What a dump. I've never been to a shittier ballpark in my life. Oh no, Perez. I can't believe Major League Baseball still lets them play in this toilet. It looks like a penitentiary. And put a coat of paint on it, for crying out loud. They're not even trying anymore. It's just a dump. They're probably going to move or build a new stadium. They'll probably be in Oakland in 2 years, or they'll be in Vegas in 2 years. But it's horrible. But I did meet one of our listeners.
It's not very eco-friendly to keep building all these new stadiums.
Perez, this place, it is, I'm serious. I'm not like exaggerating. It's a toilet. It is the worst park I've ever. It's just the worst facility I've ever been to. It's from the 70s. I mean, it's the old black hole where the Raiders used to play. I mean, these stadiums, I went to these stadiums when I was a kid, okay, like in the 80s. They've torn all of these down and rebuilt to beautiful parks that are a family experience. You wouldn't you get on the BART to go to this thing. It's a rough crowd. It's not nice.
Dodger Stadium's really old, no?
Yeah, but they've refurbished it so many times. It's beautiful now. But Dodger Stadium has all the accoutrements of like any of the newer parks, but it still has that old time feeling to it. This just has the old feeling to it. It just sucks. It's awful. But I met a listener who freaked the fuck out. I mean, Marisa, hello to her. She was so freaking excited. My friends are like, she's jumping up and down. She's like, it's you. And I literally was looking around like she must think I'm an ex-player or something. Like I'm in Oakland of all places. And then she's like, no, I love the PHP, and her whole family was there. She's like, she really does. She talks about you guys all the time. She's like, I'm a Booker brain and I love you. And she was so adorable. So it was nice meeting her. We did that. Then a complete gear shift. I went to SoFi Stadium yesterday.
That's new here in Los Angeles.
Oh my God. You want to talk? It's like they landed a spaceship in the middle of Inglewood. It is the most beautiful facility I've ever seen. It's got to be the nicest facility in the world. It is just state of the art.
Wait, so that's open now?
It's open. So I went for the Chargers.
Pause. So there's a different one also by downtown, like Bank of America Stadium.
No, the Coliseum is what you're maybe thinking of.
No, is SoFi the one that Taylor Swift was supposed to perform at?
That's next to the Forum. It's right next to the Forum.
Okay.
It's gigantic and it's just beautiful. The Chargers and the Rams are going to play there. I was there for an event for the Chargers, and the Offspring played, and it was just, I mean, I can't tell you how beautiful it was. So I went from literally the shittiest to the best ever made. So what a juxtaposition this weekend.
It's brand new. Cool.
You can't believe what they've done, and the sound system and the way it looks. It's beautiful. It's really stunning. So I did that this weekend. I'm a little beat up. I did a lot this weekend.
Yeah, I like that. Busy. I did a lot too. I saw a second movie, which I won't talk about yet. What else did we do?
Let's start the show. Yeah. We've been talking for half a fucking hour.
All right, let's start the show. Well, a couple of updates. The baby, we talked about him last week. He apologized yet again.
Okay. How'd this one go?
Who cares? I think it went fine.
You're not leading the charge to cancel him or anything. You're just letting it go, or what?
I don't really believe in canceling people. I think that the people determine if they want to support somebody or not.
Yeah.
He messed up. I think he was just dumb. I don't know.
I would say ignorant's the word. He just
dumb.
And dumb. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But he really thought he was saying something that wasn't offensive.
No, I think he knew. Come on.
I don't
know.
The
part about men sucking D in the parking lot. He knew.
But he was talking about the dirty D's, just not the regular D's.
Oh, whatever. Anyways,
I'm trying to untangle what the fuck he said. I have no idea.
Matt Damon apologized also.
He did,
for his comments last week, saying that he's never in the real world referred to anybody using the homophobic slur.
Okay.
So there's that. And that's that. I don't really care. We talked about it. I just felt like, we should give some updates. There is controversy over this new HBO Max show. I don't know if it's out yet. It might be out already. It's called The Prince. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
It's an animated show mocking the British royal family.
Cool. Sounds fun.
But a lot of people are upset about it because the protagonist is Prince George, who is, I believe, 8 years old. And they're making fun of an 8-year-old. So a lot of people think that that's inappropriate and are shocked, saddened, surprised, disappointed that HBO Max would put a show on the air that is mocking, making fun of, disrespecting an 8-year-old, even though it's a public figure. You know, in America, we have that conversation of, the children of presidents are off limits. So shouldn't the same apply to the children of royals?
Well, I need context. I really need to know. Like you said, he's the protagonist. That doesn't mean
the lead. It's called the prince.
So I don't know. I'd have to see, how is he portrayed as dumb, this kid, or is he the person that's giving everybody, like, I'm seeing it like in my mind, I'm like, this is Family Guy, and it's the damn it's the baby that only the dog can understand. I mean, I'm wondering, like, what's the thing?
The creator is somebody that used to work on Family Guy.
Then it's probably genius, and everyone should just eat one. Come on, shut up. It's probably fun. God forbid somebody makes something interesting.
That's
cares?
not the
Don't
thing.
watch.
The thing is, it's a real person. It's a real child.
He's 8. And it's not really him. He's 8 and doesn't have a personality or anything yet. I don't know. Once again, context. I need to see what they're trying to do with this character. Is it tongue in cheek? I don't know.
It is tongue in cheek, but there's still, and it's not just him. It's his sister, and all the royal kids are mentioned in it as well. And a lot of people just think it's not something that should be joked about.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see that side of it.
Yeah. I think I'm in agreement.
If it's a real person.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with those people. Or else it would be hypocritical of us or me. Like, the children of presidents should be off limits. Then, like I said, the children of royals should be off limits too.
Yeah.
That's my thought. What do you guys think? 800-721-1185. Meghan Markle celebrated her big 40th birthday, and the royals were on their best behavior. They took some time to publicly wish her a happy birthday on social media. And I wonder if they privately reached out to her as well. But at least, they put forth the effort and tried. Speaking of big birthday bashes, we're going to get to Barack Obama's 60th. But first, summer is not over yet. You have at least 4 weeks, well, more than 4 weeks. But if you're a parent, then it's like maybe a week or 2 left, 3 weeks maybe. My kids don't start school until after September, after Labor Day. So that's a lot of time for you to have fun and get your Vizzy on. Vizzy, I think they need to rebrand. They're called a hard seltzer, but like I've said before, this is the smoothest hard seltzer
You're so literal. It's just what they call these types of drinks, hard seltzers. I had a Vizzy last night in the pool. I actually had 2 in the pool.
I know, but they could call it Vizzy spiked seltzer. Vizzy.
Yes, they're going to change the name because of you. Just tell everybody what it is.
But it's not hard. I'm telling them it's
smooth.
It's smooth. It's more than smooth. It's yummy. All these flavors, some very summer flavors that you could choose from, like blueberry watermelon. There's more than one watermelon flavor. I mean, summer is synonymous with watermelon. There's blueberry watermelon, kiwi watermelon, passion fruit watermelon, mango watermelon, and more. And I love that Vizzy is a healthier hard seltzer. One Vizzy has just 100 calories. Just 100 calories and 1 gram of real cane sugar. So if you're diabetic, this is a better option for you. According to me,
quit making the parallels to health in these drinks. There's nothing healthy about them. It's better than a soda. Okay, say that.
100 calories. That is better.
Doesn't mean it's healthy.
I said healthier. All right. To find out where you can purchase Vizzy, go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/Perez. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/Perez. All right. You must be 21 and over. Barack Obama also celebrated a big birthday recently, his 60th, which was mired in controversy before it even began. Originally, the former president was set to have 400 invited guests, as well as about 200 people working the event. Then, because of optics, I would say, and that's the only reason really, the guest list was slashed, although the party happened and it still was a big party. Probably about 200 people is what is being guesstimated or reported. So that is about 50% of the party that, got disinvited, including former advisors and people that worked with him that were instrumental in his White House years and getting him elected and all of that. But of course, while some of those did not make the list, the big celebrities made the list.
Of course. Come on.
Like Erykah Badu. I saw she was posting video, and I love that they did not take people's phones away.
Yeah.
That's annoying as fuck when you go to one of these like real fancy parties and they take your phone. Like, you're taking my rude.
If you're going to invite all these hoity-toity people, you should be able to put it on the gram. You got to brag that you were there.
Exactly. Erykah Badu was there. Her was there. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. Allegedly Beyonce and Jay-Z, but I haven't seen photos or video of them. Joe Biden smartly did not attend. And a lot of conservatives were upset that Obama even was throwing this, but not mentioning that Donald Trump is having a huge rally later this month in Alabama, which is the least vaccinated state. The least vaccinated state. That Marjorie Taylor Greene nut job over the weekend, she had a rally in Alabama. And when she mentioned that they were the least vaccinated state, everybody in her rally started applauding.
We're number one.
Yeah, number one.
Number one, dipshits. Congratulations.
I don't find this problematic because,
first of all, it was tented. It was outside. Okay. There's sporting events. There's everything outside now. I wouldn't have cut the list. I would have invited everyone and said, hey, social distance. We're doing this out. There's no difference than a baseball game happening, a football game that's going to be happening, any sort of outdoor event.
There is a difference. The guidelines that the Obamas put in place are stricter than a baseball game or any other event.
Yeah.
Because some of these events, all that they're doing is requiring proof of vaccination. The Obamas required proof of vaccination and a recent negative COVID test.
Yeah.
Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if on top of that, they were also doing rapid tests on site too.
Like, this is dumb. Next story. This is dumb. Let's not sit there and let's not give the dumbasses that are reporting this as a big deal. Let's not give them any more light. They're doing the right thing.
You think it's dumb, but to a lot of people, it was very serious.
To a lot of people, they're entertained by stupid television and they watch this garbage just to get riled up. That's the whole goal of these channels, to go see, look, they're doing it too. Listen, it's personal choice at this point. If you don't want to get a shot, good luck. You might die. Me personally, I'm the hospitals at the point. I'm getting to the point where I would be like, look, you're not allowed into my hospital unless you are vaccinated. If you're over 21 and you haven't gotten your shot yet, and you come in and you want to use one of our ventilators, sorry. That's where I am. Okay.
Well, it is interesting that you mentioned that, because for a while I was like, oh God, whatever. But now it's really starting to affect and impact everyday people that are vaccinated. Like, I've been reading over the last week multiple stories about even celebrities, like this one Real Housewife, Brandy Glanville, who had like a spider bite her. She had to go to a further away hospital because the other hospital was too busy because of COVID.
Can't take people. Yeah. Can't take anybody.
Like, that's anyways, the party went on and good on him. COVID still is the big story, even in the world of entertainment. Last weekend, Lollapalooza happened.
Yeah.
And Demi Lovato took to Instagram story to criticize Lollapalooza for going on as planned. She said, "This is a real photo. We're still in the middle of a pandemic." Flash forward 7 days, and this past weekend, Demi Lovato performed at a large music festival. It was called Sad Summer Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made a video about it. So this is an update. I have not talked about this element of it. Her fan, oh, dang, this is not intentional. Demi, them, they.
Oh,
I might have said her before.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
No, it does matter.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It does matter.
It's not on you to follow somebody else's rules. You're just speaking about someone. Continue speaking about someone.
Well, people are upset, like thinking I'm intentionally disrespecting her. I'm not. Okay. So, anyways.
I think she's been very cool about this. She spoke on this many times. She says, "I get it. I'm not even going to get upset." So to those fans, I'd say
Demi does say that
she appreciates you trying, but I did hear her speak about it. She appreciates people trying, but she understands that people don't get it.
You're not even trying.
See, exactly. I right, but because Demi understands that it's not normal. She gets Demi gets it too. So whatever, just continue. This is silly. This is where we are in society. We're bickering over dumb shit like this. It's so dumb. There's such big problems in the world, and we're sitting here worrying about them, they, it, she, whatever. Oh, come on.
I got so much hate for it.
You live in a hate bubble. Okay. I mean, that's where you dwell. You hang out you're in the corner of hate and stupid. It's called the internet. And that's your address.
I made a video about this, and it was Sunday, and I wanted to leave my house and go out with my kids. And when I was almost done with the video, I realized, oh no, I've been misgendering Demi. Before the video was over, I caught myself and corrected myself. And some people are like, well, why didn't
you for trying?
Why didn't you make the video over again? And I'm like, well, because I was in a hurry and it wasn't that important to me. I caught myself and I corrected myself in that moment. So anyways, Demi's fans pointed out to me that this festival that she performed at, Sad Summer Fest, was, and I don't know how accurate this information is because it's from Demi Lovato's fans. It was meant to encourage vaccination. Like if you went to the festival, if you got vaccinated, you could either go for free or something to do with like encouraging vaccination. Mm-hmm. And I think Demi Lovato just has a lot of dumb fans because they don't understand the hypocrisy. Yes, wonderful. You're encouraging vaccination, but she called out Lollapalooza for throwing a big event. And then this other festival was also a large event, maybe not 100,000, but probably 20,000. And I like to be transparent, as any educated person should know by now. Even if you got the vaccine, you could still get COVID and you could still spread
COVID. That's
So it's still hypocritical of her for last week calling out Lala, and now this week performing at a music festival, even if it did encourage vaccination. So all you Lovatics, suck it.
I don't think they're listening.
Oh, they are. They hang on my every word. Anyways, it's similar news, not similar, but in like COVID entertainment related news. Limp Bizkit was supposed to have like a bit of a comeback summer. They performed at Lollapalooza, and they were scheduled to have a bunch of other dates coming up. They've canceled their entire remaining tour, a bunch of dates. But what is curious is the statement that the frontman Fred Durst released. He said, quote, "Out of an abundance of caution and concern for the safety of the band, crew, and most of all the fans, the Limp Bizkit show this Monday and the remaining August tour is being canceled. Refunds are available for their Oh wait, I missed a part. He said before that, he said the system is seriously flawed. That's the key sentence there. If I have to read between the lines, the system is seriously flawed, blah, blah, blah. Somebody in the Limp Bizkit family is an anti-vaxxer and refusing to get the vaccine. And unlike that other band that you mentioned, Offspring, where the drummer got replaced, it was that band, right? It must be either Fred Durst or somebody instrumental to the band that they're not replacing them with somebody who is vaccinated. So that's the only reason why you would cancel it, I would think, is if somebody's refusing to get the vaccine.
I don't know. We're just speculating. Sounds like a working theory. Sure.
I don't know why else. All right. In more music related news, I don't know if this is smart or not. And I don't know if it even matters in terms of pushing music, because Kanye makes bajillions of dollars every year through everything else but music. You know, his clothes, his shoes, his sneakers make so much money. The music now is the secondary product. In July, he had a big listening event for his new album, Donda. Then we talked about how he stayed in that stadium in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, working on the album. There was a new release date. It was supposed to come out this past Friday. It did not come out.
Of course.
He had a second release listening event. But what's crazy is that what's interesting about both of these album listening events is that they were streamed on Apple Music. So if you're a Kanye fan,
so the music's out there, is what you're saying?
No, people have heard it now twice. So if I'm a Kanye fan, I'll tune in and I'll watch these events. But then when the album comes out, like, I'm not going to listen to it again. I already heard it twice. Maybe if there's like a song or two that I really like, I might jam to that one, or I'll just add it to my playlist or whatever, but I'm not going to rush to listen to the whole thing. And the album didn't come out. It's allegedly coming out now this Friday, but who knows? He might still be working on it for a while longer. Is it smart of him to have had these two big on Apple Music events for his album?
I don't think it matters. I think, going back to your initial statement, the music is just it's ancillary at this point. Nobody's waiting in line to hear it anymore. Nobody's waiting in line to hear anything anymore. It's just music has gotten so fragmented, and there's like no place where it's all being, thrown out to the world anymore. Radio is so different. That's diced up. The pie has gotten so big. There's so many slices in it. There's no excitement for anything. He's having two different parties, and he's probably pissed that there's no excitement about his music. Welcome to music 2021, dude. Like, that's the world we're living in. No one's excited for anything. It's not a group community feeling anymore. And it's kind of sucks. It was kind of more fun when it was like MTV and radio, and everything was a buildup, and you couldn't wait, and you knew where you were going. And I don't know, it's just a different day.
I hate to admit it, but I don't care about albums anymore. I'm a singles guy now.
Most people are. You have to be a big fan of a group or performer to say, I can't wait to get the whole body of work. We're an ADD world.
It's crazy though, because of streaming. I don't have to pay for the whole album. I could just stream it for free because I pay for my Apple Music every month. Anyways, all right, we're gonna get to the wacky segment about all these celebrities not showering, but first, thank you for supporting the podcast and everybody that has bought Magic Spoon. It is the yummiest cereal out there. It's not boring and it's healthy. If you're trying to cut down on carbs or sugar or just things that aren't that good for you, take a listen to all the benefits if you make the switch to Magic Spoon. Not only is it delicious, but it has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs, plus 140 calories a serving. And if you're a parent, let me tell you this. I've tried to push healthy cereal on my kids before. They don't like it. My kids love Magic Spoon, and they have the best flavors. Plus, they're bringing back some popular flavors now. They're bringing back cookies and cream and maple waffle, plus their traditional flavors that we know and love. Go check it out. It's guilt-free, it's delicious, and it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Go to magicspoon.com/Perez to grab your cereal and try it today. And make sure you use our promo code Perez at checkout to save $5 off your order. That's magicspoon.com/Perez. Okay. There is this new trend. And actually, I'm going to say, I think a lot of these celebrities are probably capping. That's what the kids say. They're lying, they're fronting, they're pretending because they want to come across as normal or
they're salt of the earth parents.
Yeah, accessible, whatever, relatable. Both Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard and Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis revealed recently that they don't really bathe or shower their children that much, only when they start to smell. Okay. Then within the same week, Jake Gyllenhaal said something similar. He was interviewed in either Vanity Fair or GQ or something, and they literally asked, "Is there anything revelatory about your shower ritual?" He said, quote, "I always am baffled that loofahs come from nature, blah, 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 blah. I find bathing to be less necessary at times. I do believe, because Elvis Costello is wonderful, that good manners and bad breath get you nowhere. So I do that. But I do also think that there's a whole world of not bathing that is also really helpful for skin maintenance, and we naturally clean ourselves." There's just so much to unpack here.
Who cares?
Well, a lot of people do. This was all a big.
This is slow news week, is what this is. This is.
I hate when you say "who cares," and if it is a slow news week, then fucking go with it. Duh. Jesus.
Boring. Celebrity. We don't bathe our kids.
All right, well, let's keep moving. Let's stop. I hate when you get like
the
this.
story. It's fine.
We're moving on.
It's just boring. I'm just telling you when something is boring. Like, who gives a shit if they shower their kids or not? There's so many people that can relate to this that they're like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes we forget to, whatever. It's just parenting.
You know what? Then you're boring, because it's your job and my job to make the boring not so boring.
I'm making it not so boring right now by telling you that it's boring.
No, you're not. You're making it annoying.
Okay, let's have a conversation about this. This should be fun. This should be the most fast forwardable segment of our show. Let's talk about the Go ahead. I want to hear this.
I would have been over with it by now. I would have said, first of all, Latinos don't play like this. We grew up with great hygiene. And secondly, I think it's important to talk about, because showering is or bathing regularly, I do it daily, I think is an important component for your mental health. And maybe it's a white people thing that white people don't know, but my Black friends taught me a long time ago the importance of moisturizing after you get out of the shower. Do you do that?
No.
You see the caucasity. Oh my God. You really don't?
No.
Does your girlfriend?
Absolutely. There's that use. What's that stuff called? Starts with an E. It's all over this freaking house.
Eucerin?
Is that it?
I don't know. I use Vaseline. I
Yeah, I
use
don't know.
Eucerin on my hands. Eucerin is the best hand cream.
I-
Vaseline I use for my body. Anyways, I I just am shocked, but I truly am shocked that people just do not shower regularly. I am shocked by it. I don't think
I
it's,
think it's
and that people are talking about
it's
it.
the kind of skin that you have. Like I don't, I'm a little maybe of an oilier base because I'm Italian and Polish or whatever. I just think it's my genetic makeup. I've got nice skin. My mom has nice skin. I don't really have to do a lot of maintenance. Some people do. Some people get really dry and, they're always
How often do you shower?
every day, every morning, first thing.
All right. Well, on the flip side of things, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, revealed recently over the last few days that he showers 3 times a day.
That seems excessive.
He works out twice a day.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I work out daily as well. He works out twice a day, and he just also likes the third one when he gets home from work. So that's that. In other wacky news,
What a segment.
I hate when you poo-poo on it.
I'm just making fun of it because I sometimes in the
You
news cycle,
could make
I am making fun of it. I was making fun
but
of
not
it.
make fun of me for picking it.
I'm
If
not
I
making
picked
fun
it,
of you.
you
I
are. You
just
said this
I'm
is so
making fun of the
boring.
news cycle that I
And
keep seeing this
chose-
story
and
that I'm
I
like,
picked
next,
it, and
next.
I picked it to talk about.
Well, I'm just saying what people are thinking.
No, our listeners and viewers find it incredibly annoying when you say, who cares?
Sure they do.
They do. I do. Whatever.
Marisa doesn't seem to agree with you. She seemed to like my point of view on mostly everything. So I'm going to have to
she's
disagree with
dumb.
that statement. Oh, how dare you? She is one of our best listeners. She's so excited about the show. And now you're like, she's dumb. Okay.
No, she said she has Booker brain. Translation, dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There'd be
Anyway.
9 people listening to the show if there wasn't Booker brain involved. You guys would be talking about skincare fucking rituals all for 15 minutes. Bye, everyone.
Well, women care
Bye,
about
excitement.
skincare. Women care about
You can get it
skincare
anywhere.
rituals.
That's
Anyways,
the point.
that was a really good tip, by the way. Eucerin hand cream. There is no better hand cream. And I'm not getting paid to say that. I should get paid to say that. I've tried other hand creams, not as good. All right. And other wacky news. And I want to be careful because, oh God. I mean, I didn't say it, but I think it's an interesting conversation to have. I hope this is not interpreted the wrong way. Jennifer Aniston revealed in a new interview that when she stress eats by eating one potato chip. A chip, she clarified, because the interviewer was incredulous. She said a chip, crunch, crunch, crunch. She went on to add, I can have one M&M, one chip. I know, that's so annoying. Some people accused Jennifer Aniston of having disordered eating, meaning an eating disorder. I would never, I'm not saying that. I think she has incredible willpower and really likes being healthy. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't either. I think there's a lot of pressure on someone like her to maintain her look, and that's that's her choice, that's her decision, and to have the willpower to say, look, this is garbage that I would be putting in my body. I'm willing to give myself one little piece of garbage. But
I could not
people
do that,
don't,
though.
right? There are people that eat nothing like you, that eat nothing but mounds of garbage that stuff it in. I just think this shows incredible discipline, and more people should take her plan and advice. It's just,
well, she's lucky. I think I'm a pretty good, like, when I'm disciplined, but I'm like a sugar addict or a food addict. If I have a little bit of peanut brittle, it's game over.
Bye-bye box.
It's game over.
Yeah, that's just not a healthy way to live.
Anyways, well, I'm inspired by her willpower, and Oh, I didn't even mention this.
Can you imagine eating one M&M? I'll just have one, please.
That's cruel.
That's cruel. That's what that is. That's like a little, that's like having some crack and denying yourself the next hit of crack.
Are you a
Mm.
regular M&Ms or a peanut M&Ms guy?
I'm a peanut for certain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Me
Yeah.
too. All right. In other wacky news, although some people are upset by this.
Okay. Well, some people are upset about the sun coming up every morning.
Some people are so upset that they're trying to get him fired. And I think that's lame. I mentioned last week, a few days ago, but I did not talk about this part. You see, I love the podcast because it really lets us dive deep and elaborate on things and talk about things that we haven't talked about before.
Right.
It was
Like
announced.
skincare.
Shut up. It was, you need it. Okay.
I have wonderful glistening skin and you fucking know it.
No, you don't. Look at your skin.
Look
That's
at my
awful.
skin. I have beautiful skin. I'm 83 years old. Look at this skin.
Anyways, it was announced that Aaron Carter got a job. And I explicitly on this podcast said, that's what he needs. I want that for him, for his mental health, for his well-being, for his happiness. He got a job in a musical. And people were mocking him for the musical, but whatever. A paycheck is a paycheck.
Why?
Publicity is publicity. He's going to be in Vegas starring in Naked Boys Singing.
That's a great gig. Good for him.
Good for him. I say, it's not Broadway, but
who cares? Working is working. I mean, that's the game. It's a long play, and there's ebbs and flows in your career. And he had some down where he was, showing his dick on the internet. Okay, now the guy's got a gig. He doesn't have to show his dick anymore. He will
be showing his dick. It's Naked Boys Singing.
Oh, it really is naked though. Like they're gonna get nude. It's just not like a play on words.
No, they really get nude.
No.
I've seen it.
I'm sure you have. Naked Boys. There's one you are front row for.
It's not like a sexual show. They're just naked. No? It's like it's weird. It's like, it's fun.
Is it like the Rockettes, but with like penises are hanging out and stuff?
I think they do a kick line number. If I remember.
That does not sound appealing. I mean, even as a man, a gay man, wouldn't you say that the male body in that kind of that,
but it's not meant to be appealing. It's not a sexual show. It's a funny show. It's meant to be comedic.
Okay, good. Because that is funny. It's more funny than it is sexy.
Yeah, it's never billed as sexy unless it's like a thing that girls do for bachelorette parties. Like they go see Naked Boys Singing. Anyways.
Okay.
I can see that. Some people, listen, I will not sugarcoat it. Aaron Carter has said and done awful things.
Sure.
He's said racist things, homophobic things.
The guy's got issues for sure.
Exactly. And I have compassion for him. I hope that this opportunity can help him be a better person. And I'm not going to try to go out of my way to see him get fired. I would not do that for anybody. So to all those people trying to get Aaron Carter fired. All right. Before we get to Britney Spears, do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. And I bet it could be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com. All right, on to Britney Spears. Britney Spears' lawyer is working hard, and we love to see it. Her new lawyer that she chose herself has filed paperwork to remove her dad as her conservator ASAP. The lawyer also has asked the judge to schedule a hearing sooner than September 29th, when the next hearing is scheduled for. Her lawyer suggested August 23rd. So hopefully they can accommodate that request. Her dad, though, is refusing to let go of his role and let go of his grip that is suffocating his daughter, according to her. In his own paperwork filed with the court, Jamie Spears claims that Britney is off her meds and mentally sick. He also incorrectly made assertions as to what her co-conservator, that woman Jody Montgomery, feels about Britney's well-being. So much so that the conservator, Jody Montgomery, had her lawyer clarify things, releasing her own statement saying that she does have concerns about Britney's behavior, but that Jamie Spears got things twisted, so to speak, and that Britney is not exhibiting any behavior, however, that would qualify getting her placed under a 5150 psychiatric hold. So that's everything Britney this week.
Okay.
You would wish
I don't even know what to add to that. I'm gonna say
you would wish that the dad would just.
No, I don't. I think the dad will never. He's her father. I think he is going to say, I know best because I am her father. I care more about her than any of you stupid fucking fans can. I care more about her than any of you lawyers can. I think he's going to say that to his grave because he's the father. You do the same for your daughter too. Okay. That's what I hear from him over and over. And I think people just want him to be the villain.
But
I just say, explore the possibility that he might be right. That's all that I'll say. Okay, you don't have to. You don't know either. All I'm asking is to explore the possibility. I'm not saying you have to.
No, we don't have to. We shouldn't even, because here's why. You don't even care that Britney herself has said, I don't want my dad as my conservator.
I think you should stop saying that. I don't think it's, I don't care. I would say I don't know enough to make an accurate, and it's none of my business on top of it.
Okay, let me recap. Britney herself has said she does not want her father as her conservator anymore. It's not good for her health.
Okay.
Her other conservator.
Is she the best judge of her health? Always.
The other conservator, Jody Montgomery, has said the father should not be the conservator anymore. Britney's doctors have said.
Okay, then now we're on to something. But still,
let me finish.
All I'm asking though, you're taking us down another path.
All right, let me just finish. Britney, the other conservator, the doctors, and her mother have all said the father should not be the conservator anymore.
Okay. And my point is this. He loves her more than I take the mother out of this because I'll put them on equal footing. All these other people, they don't give a fuck about her. She's part of their job and their paycheck. Okay. She is the flesh and blood. I just, because he doesn't want to let go, that doesn't tell me anything, but he loves his daughter and he in his heart of heart believes this, whatever's going on might be the best case for her. I just said, explore that possibility. I'm not even saying I disagree with any of these other people. I don't know enough to say that, but just painting him wholeheartedly as the villain seems odd
I didn't
to me.
say he's the villain, but I'm saying at this point.
But I think most people are. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
At this point, he should listen to Britney's mom and Britney's doctors and the conservator and
you may be right.
Britney herself.
You may be right, but I'm not going to say you're right. I'm going to say you may be right.
All right. In more family-related news, Vanessa Bryant, we've spoken about this story a few times, has reached a confidential settlement with her mother over alleged fraud. You know, the whole incident where the mom claimed that Kobe Bryant asserted that he was going to take care of her financially and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm sure that Vanessa Bryant paid some money to her mother But this whole situation is still just so sad to me. And
Yeah, that money had to be exchanged at the end of this, and it should have just been given to her in the first place, because that's the only way this was going to end, a check being cut. And it's, you know, I think that you just say, listen, I need to get past this because I got other things like, you know, raising children without a father. I think that's really, really hard and painful. And I think that she probably needed to get past this no matter what. And like I said, there's so much money. There is the amount of money that there is attached to that name and that brand that is going to come in forever. Just write a fucking check. It doesn't matter. You know, so what, there's one less, you know, zero on something. There's so much money and it's blood. It's just blood. Just write the check.
I don't know if I agree. And actually, there's a similar story in a new interview. Quentin Tarantino reveals that when he was growing up, his mother was not supportive of him being a screenwriter and a writer. In fact, she tried to squash his dreams. So as an adult, he says he's not supported his mother financially. He did not buy her a house. He didn't do any of those
I think
things.
That's ridiculous. I think that whoever helped you get to where you are, even by saying no, sometimes no. And I think the fuel of someone not supporting what you think you can do sometimes helps you get to what you want to achieve. Like, you know, my stepdad growing up, we had kind of split up before I had graduated from high school or was even in college. And I had said at some point, like, I'm going to pursue this radio thing. And, you know, I'm going to work at the station. He said, look, the only station you're ever going to work at's a gas station. I was like, okay, we'll see. That
was pretty funny, though.
It's a good line. It's a fucking good line right there. It's motivating. And I think whatever motivation it takes, sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture and look back and say, hey, maybe that was the best thing that happened to me. Because maybe if someone just coddled you to death, you're going to be the best screenwriter ever, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't happen. So however it happens, it happens. I think to cut blood out, though, and, you know, unless they abused you in some sort of fashion, seems odd to me. Seems very odd to me.
I mean, it's weird that you're taking this take and that you have, because on one side of things, you have your opinion about Britney Spears and her situation, saying, well, we don't know everything.
You want the difference?
And the same is true.
I'll give you the difference.
What's the difference?
This difference is my experience. That's her experience. I don't know what her experience really is. I don't know what her family's experience is.
No, but I'm telling you, you don't know the Quentin Tarantino experience either.
You're right. I mean, that's what I said. Is some abuse involved? I don't think so. If it's just someone didn't support my dreams and it's cut and dry, and that's all this is about.
That could be.
And by the way, if that's what he wants to do, that's also fine. I don't want to take it like, wow, this guy's an asshole. I'm just seeing it a different way. That's all. I'm not, you know, whatever he wants to do, fine by me. It affects me 0%. I would just, sometimes I think when you step back and you look at why you got to where you are, you have to look at the things that fuel you. And I think that it's just part of your story. If that's what he wants to do, it's his fucking money. It's his fame. It's his road that he traveled. I can't criticize it. I guess I was just speaking for myself.
Well, I want to support my kids, and I would, I mean, listen, I will play devil's advocate for a second. And I do want and expect them to do well in school. And I think that, you know, he's older than me. He's older than you also. So back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, parents didn't really know as much as we do today. And he just was not an academic kid. Yeah. He just was not an academic kid.
But, you know, that doesn't have to do a lot with anything either. There's a lot of people that were terrible students that, you know, run the world now.
Well, yeah, like him.
Yeah, it doesn't, you know. And this whole shift of parenting, No one's saying this is working yet either. As I look at this younger generation, they are as light as you could possibly be. I mean, what a bunch of pussies. I mean, whiners. They complain about everything. Everything. My ego. Me. I'm so hurt. Give me my participation trophy. Like that's the fucking world we live in. So I'm not sure that's working either. So I'm just looking at Quentin Tarantino's parenting and the style. I'm just saying, explore the possibility that a little grit and a little like, hey, you can't do that might actually work. It may be motivational. I've seen no proof that this new era of parenting is working. I'm not looking around going, wow, these kids are so well adjusted. I think they're a bunch of fucking whiners, is what I think.
Well, in other family drama, Dr. Dre's oldest daughter has revealed that she is homeless, is living in a car, and hasn't received financial help from him in over a year.
Really? What happened there?
Ego, I think. He's upset that she's spoken about him to the press before.
God, it's the parent. You'd think you'd be bigger about it. But it's
also
hard. I mean, I'm not a parent. And maybe, was there a drug situation or anything like that?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either. I'm just,
I do.
It's a bunch of maybes already.
I do know that there's like some weirdness. Like she's like, let me read you this quote verbatim. She's living in a car, right? She said, "I've been in debt for a while. The car is a pretty penny. It's an SUV that cost $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week." Why doesn't she just buy a used car? Like that's like a big red flag to me, isn't it?
I think there's a big long story behind this that we have no possible way of untangling. See, and me initially, here's what I think. You just said the story. By the way, I know this not to be true. I just brought up drugs because I think when there's a drug situation, I think at times I think the right thing for, or maybe not the right thing, but the right thing for those parents at the time they come to a point, they say, we have to cut this person off because they're going to break us, or this is just the best thing. They have to hit rock bottom. So that's if there is a drug situation. Once again, I don't know if there is, but I just think that's one thing it could be. There's a lot going on here that I don't know what it is.
Well,
listen, this doesn't sound like a sensible person just from that math that you just spewed out. Like, who's paying $2,300? Like, you're not that broke if you could even walk in and rent that for whatever amount of money. Like, none of this is making any sense to me. Right? Homeless, $2,300. Like, how homeless are you?
I wish her well. All right, we're gonna wrap it up almost in a second, but a quick item. I don't even care that much. I'll just mention it briefly. Some people were upset thinking that, Apple is overstepping and Big Brother and all this stuff. Apple says that it's going to begin scanning iCloud photos for child abuse images. And it will alert authorities about any potential child abuse. My thoughts are, if this could potentially save a few or hundreds or thousands of children from sexual abuse, then I'm happy to have less privacy. Because that's the argument. Oh, this is like a privacy concern, blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's a big just theme in the world at the moment. Like, the government's doing this, Big Brother that. And it's like, shut the fuck up. They don't care what you're doing, asshole. Wow. You went to Burger King 3 times last week. Good for you. Yeah, come on. The people are out of control.
Well, who's not out of control?
Who?
Geico. Whether you own or rent, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. All right, some new music, and then we'll take calls. The Weeknd. It's weird. I love The Weeknd's music, but I'm never that excited by him. But I love his music. The Weeknd released this new song called Take My Breath, and I love it. Have you heard it?
I think so.
It's very disco. I love it. It's a great
Yeah,
song.
I have heard it. Yeah. Okay.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
He also revealed in a new interview to GQ that he's doing sober light, kind of like California sober. He's given up hard drugs, but he will still drink and smoke weed. The other new song, the only other new song that really, not new, but new to me, the only other song that really was on my radar was this remix of a Miranda Lambert song called Tequila Does, the Telemetry remix. I think possibly if this is, quote, sent to radio, to pop stations, it could be her first pop single that does well. I love this remix. I love the song. I haven't heard the original version, but I love this version. And
yeah, isn't it funny? I don't know the original either, but I agree with Perez wholeheartedly. We both love this song, and knowing the South and how pop is different in the South, or like in Florida or those southern states, this sounds like that. And it's one of those songs that, like a Nelly, works down there. It doesn't work everywhere, but this sounds like this will break out of that and kind of work everywhere. It's a cool song. I get it. It's a great mix.
The Telemetry remix. And finally,
deep breath. Uh-oh. What?
It pains me to say this, and I can acknowledge it.
Uh-oh.
You were right.
I was wondering why tears were welling up in your eyes when you say you were right. It pains you so much. I'm dying to hear what I was right about this time. Please tell me. Fight the tears away and tell me.
You were right about Camila Cabello's new song. Unfortunately, it seems like the general public has not been as into it as I have, because last week it debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 at a, to me, alarming, disappointing, and shocking number 42. That's bad.
Yeah.
I think.
Look, it could be a grower. Let's not count it out yet.
Well, hopefully
radio has yet to even give it a shot yet. So let's see. It may, it may work. I don't hear it as
but to me, the fact that it debuted so low, that's a red flag. Like, oh my God.
For sure. But it could get going. We'll see.
Like, not even a top 20 debut or top 30. It was at number 42. Jeez Louise. But you know what? I hope, I don't even know how that works. Like, I wonder, like Debbie Gibson back in the day, she had a lot of hit songs. Like, can she live in 2021 off of her hit songs from the 80s?
Oh, dear God, yes. She's on a tour, and she's constantly, I know Deb forever. She's constantly working, and she does great. There'll always be money coming in if you had a hit, and she had many, and she wrote them. Yeah. That's the key. She owns all of her publishing. Deborah does very well. She does very well.
Oh, good. All right, that's it. Let's take some calls.
Let's do that.
Hi, Booker and Perez. My name is Jenna. I'm calling from the stupidest state on planet Earth, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
I was just calling to say that I was listening to the podcast this week, and Booker, you are 1,000,000% correct. We are just comprised of a bunch of fucking idiots who just listen to whatever stupidity comes out of another moron's mouth, backed by absolutely nothing at all. And it's just a matter of people liking to say, I'm a Republican versus I'm a Democrat, or whatever bullshit comes spewing out of their mouth based on whatever bullshit they hear on different media websites, unfortunately. Florida really is just about as bad as they say it is. People are not wearing masks anywhere. I personally have an autoimmune disorder. I got sick in January after my stepfather got sick. and thereafter passed away in March.
Wow.
And my father got sick he was vaccinated and still got sick and has cancer. So just a pile of fun over here. I know this is not a question. You guys are great. Just wanted to say you were right. And yeah, we're all fucking stupid over here.
You hang in there, sweetheart. I mean, it sounds like you do have a big bucket of terrible things happening, but you got the right mindset and you sound like a smart cookie. So
Florida
thanks
is
for
crazy.
listening.
I was reading how they're setting all these new records for COVID infections in Florida.
I told you that last week. They beat their record.
No, they keep breaking it.
They keep breaking it, but they beat the initial run of COVID's record. I mean, their hospitals are just they're overwhelmed again, and it's. I read that there's a movement to change the name of the Delta variant to the DeSantis variant because asswipes like him. No, I think it's genius. Asswipes like him are the reason that people of lower intelligence keep saying, well, see, they follow the way he speaks and it's dangerous and it's killing people. That blood should be on his hands. They should change it. They should get every GOP asswipe that's against all this stuff. And every time a new variant comes out, name it after that fucking person. So when they die, you know who to point the finger to, because these assholes are not helping. They're not helping. They're fucking killing people. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Another call.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Minneapolis. First of all, I just want to say, Booker, you are relatable as fuck. If you ever decide to run for office, you have my endorsement. And P.S.
Can you imagine me running for office? Can you imagine what that would look like?
Somebody with Booker brain.
Yeah, well.
I know everyone's sick as shit of the Britney story, but I just had to add this little, whatever it's called, red herring. If you look at the court docs, you'll see that in 2020, the estate or Britney Spears' conservatorship paid Sam Asghari, however you say his name, her boyfriend, $100,000 for workout, nutrition, like whatever it is. So he's also on the conservatorship payroll, which is stuff is tough. All right, Chris, you're good too, but I have to side with Booker. He's my favorite. All right, love you both.
There's another vote for Booker.
Booker brain is a disease.
It's a disease. It's a movement. I don't know what it is.
You know why? Because I'm such a free thinker. I would think, well, sometimes I agree with Perez, sometimes I agree with Booker. Those people that are like, oh, I always agree with you, or I always agree with you. That's just dumb to me.
Mm-hmm. Called sensible.
No.
Hey guys, this is Amber from Seattle. I love you guys. Anyway, I wanted to weigh in on the Simone Biles bowing out of the Olympics. One thing that you guys didn't mention was she's the only competing athlete right now that was involved in the Larry Nassar sexual assault case. And she's kind of the face of it right now, and it's all coming back up in the media. And she had mentioned that was one of the factors involved in her pulling out. So just wanted to bring that up because I'm sure that that's extremely difficult for her. And she's got to deal with that on top of all the pressure.
Yeah, this girl's got the weight of the world on her shoulders. And I think let's just be a little compassionate. She, her point of view of being the face of the Olympics, she isn't wrong. It's got to be a heavy cross to bear at times. And it's she's got some things going on in her past.
But
she's lost a family member. She's back.
She's with her boyfriend. She's got a new house that she bought, and she's hitting the pool and having a good rest of August.
Yeah. But, I think you also have to look at it like this. It's the price of fame at times. It doesn't matter how big or beloved you are. There is always a line of people ready to knock you down a notch. And that's just the world. It's part of fame, and it's the ugly side of it that we often talk about. I think it's just that. And you have to see it for what it is and not let it kind of take over your mindset when you're that kind of a juggernaut athlete or just a special force of nature. And that's what she is. So, I do have compassion for her for that.
Hi, Perez. Hi, Booker. This is Ashley calling from San Diego, California. I had a quick question. What are your guys' thoughts on doctors, nurses, all kinds of people from the medical field quitting their jobs because they don't want to get the vaccine and they feel like they're being forced to, because it is a part of your medical rights in order to defy the vaccine? What are your thoughts on that? And also, what are your thoughts on doctors and nurses in the field that kind of have become whistleblowers, stating that a lot of the reports about people dying from COVID is actually inaccurate? And
I would say get off of Facebook is what I would tell you, because you're getting your information from people that are taking your gullibility and they are running with it, and they're taking your click and they're taking your money every time that you go and spew this stuff. It's not true. Yeah, nurses are quitting, but they're not quitting because they don't want the vaccine. They're worried about their health and the health of their families and kids when they're dragging this home with them, because they've got their hands up in the air like, why aren't people getting this? You know, there's there's a list of vaccinations from polio to chickenpox to all of these things that we all got that probably have saved our life at some point. Okay. And no one's got a problem with any of those, but you know, the press and the morons have demonized this word vaccination, and it's sad. And it just shows the gullibility of people and letting the internet and the inmates run the asylum. Listen to the smart people. Just go to the CDC website. These are people that have spent their entire lives on this, that they're the most intelligent, articulate people on the planet. They were the first ones to say, jab me. Okay. Come on, just stop, get your shot.
I don't
It's
care
the right
anymore.
thing to do.
Get your shot, don't get your shot. I just don't care.
But you got kids. You have to, because these kids can't get a shot yet. And we don't know enough yet. And it's just not fair to them. It's not fair to these medical workers that they could take this variant home with them. Even vaccinated, they could take it home and give it to a kid. Kids are dying. Young kids, it's granted, people will be like, well, you know, the mortality rate's only 95%. If these healthcare workers and doctors and these respirators and science weren't keeping so many of these people alive, that number would be so much bigger. It would be huge. But science has kept a lot of these people alive. If you know people that have gotten COVID, that got over it, I mean, science kept them alive. And, you know, when they get cancer, they're not going to be walking in going, well, you know, everything's experimental. They're going to be like, give me whatever. I don't want to die. It's just the ignorance that's running rampant is, you know, and think about how many years ago, like when was polio? Like when did we get the vaccination for polio? Was it Jonas Salk? That what, the 40s? Think how much technology or how much science has happened between that vaccination that's worked for 80 years. Think where we are now in 2021, how much more science and how much more we know. I would have been worried then in the 40s. Okay. I wouldn't be worried in the 2021s. It's just this a lot of insane thinking out there. I just will never understand.
What's funny, people just don't like being told what to do.
You're right.
But,
too many freedoms. That's what it is.
But people are told they have to pay their taxes. I don't see people being like, well, I don't want to pay my taxes. You're told you have to do that. You do it.
Death and taxes. Yeah. It's the same as a seatbelt. You know, the seatbelt doesn't save me from, you know, I could be in an accident. People still die wearing their seatbelts.
Yeah. The more I think about it, like, why do we force people to wear seatbelts? Shouldn't we just let idiots that don't want to wear their seatbelts not wear their seatbelts? Like, why is that?
There you go. And that's that kind of thinking, because they've said, you know, this saves lives. And the government, listen, everybody, the government wants you alive. Let me tell you why. Because they want your taxes. Okay. If you're still on the planet, death and taxes, you're going to be paying taxes. You're going to be paying into the system. That's what the government wants. The government doesn't want to kill you. They really don't. They want your fucking money. Okay. You got to keep that in mind. Their goal isn't to like, hey, let's wipe these fucking people out. You notice they were the first ones in line to get shots. You saw the president, the vice president, Congress, Donald Trump. You see all these people, they got their shots. The medical professionals all got their shots. These are the intelligent people. It's like in school, there's like the 15% of the smart kids, and the rest of it's a bunch of fucking idiots. We're listening to the idiots in school now.
But
these students,
people do have their valid reasons or whatever. Like I did read that startling to me statistic that I think around, I don't remember the exact number, or let me look, it doesn't matter, but it's something like less than 40% of Black Americans have gotten the vaccine. And I don't know if we could, and I wouldn't say, that 60% of Black Americans are dumb because they didn't get it. Like I wouldn't say that. So it's complicated, and hopefully
it's hard because people are misinformed, and it's because of the internet. It's because of all this clickbait. People have got to understand you're reading this stuff because somebody wrote it and knew it would get hits. And when you get hits, you get paid. And that's why it gets spread around. People don't care about you when they're writing these stories. They care about their wallet themselves. And that is the problem with the Facebook and the internet. And that's what's happening. We've stopped listening to the smart 15% of the people in the class, the smart kids. We're listening to the dumb fucks. I ain't doing that. Then you get a bunch of dumb fucks together and all of a sudden they're making sense to people. You're like, what? You're the dummy. I'm never listening to you. I'm going to listen to the smart fucking kid. It's nonsensical to me. It really is. But I'm Booker Brain. What can I say?
All right. Well, we wish you all good health.
We do indeed.
And little taxes. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Share the show, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
All right. Thank you.
All right, brother.
See ya.